My name is Dr. Whitney Battle-Baptiste, and I am your instructor for Du Bois in Our Time. Today, I'd like to introduce the course, the general ideas of the course, but I'd like to start with the words of W.E.B. Du Bois himself. From his text, Black Reconstruction in America, 1860 to 1880. In this text, before the work even begins, there is a to the reader part, which I look at as a warning, as a precursor to what people are about to read in this text. And so I quote, "The story of transplanting millions of Africans to the New World and of their bondage over 4 centuries is a fascinating one. Particularly interesting for students of human culture is the sudden freeing of these Black folk in the 19th century and the attempt through them to reconstruct the basis of American democracy from 1860 to 1880. This book seeks to tell and interpret these 20 years of fateful history with a special reference to the efforts and experiences of the Negroes themselves. It would only be fair to the reader to say frankly in advance that the attitude of any person toward this story will be distinctly influenced by his theories of the Negro race. If he believes that the Negro in America and in general is an average and ordinary human being who, under given environment, develops like other human beings, then he will read this story and judge it by the facts adduced. If, however, he regards the Negro as a distinctly inferior creation who can never successfully take part in modern civilization and whose emancipation and enfranchisement were gestures against nature, then he will need something more than the sort of facts that I have set down. But this latter person, I am not trying to convince. I am simply pointing out these 2 points of view so obvious to Americans. And then, without further ado, I am assuming the truth of the first. In fine, I am going to tell the story as though Negroes were ordinary human beings, realizing that this attitude will from the first seriously curtail my audience. W.E. Burgard Du Bois, Atlanta, December 1934. I start with that because we realize that there are lots of views about racism, anti-Black racism, systemic racism, institutional racism, and all of the other isms that come with that. This course is a course about a man who lived a long time ago, yet a lot of what he talked about, a lot of what he wrote, still holds true today. And that's why we discussed the idea of creating a course called Du Bois in Our Time. This is a moment in our nation's history where we are all hearing the voices of the disenfranchised, of the frustrated, of the people who believe that they have been left behind in the ways in which we're supposed to progress as a nation, as a democracy. The kinds of things that we will be reading are by Du Bois, about Du Bois. We are talking about civil rights, but we are also talking about Black power and Black Lives Matter. All of these come from the same frustration over different generations. So in sum, the ideas behind this course is my passion and my dedication to teaching a past that is not past. We are going to discuss a lot. We are going to visit virtually the Du Bois papers that are in at UMass's archives. We will be enjoying poetry. We will be learning through our assignments all the kinds of ways that you can add to the interpretation of what Du Bois means in our time. I thank you for taking this class. I look forward to working with you and taking this journey together. Thank you and good luck.